Welcome to Warblog. Today we're looking at this game. This is, I don't know. It's a celebration, but it's not really. I had a rough few days, but I managed to get this game done. So this is the last time I'm probably going to mention this. Maybe it won't be, but I've been doing this massive backlog of games. I had about 28 games, I think, that I just added and didn't complete, but now I've finished them, and the last one was in this section here. So these used to all be sort of fairly empty games, but this one was the last. So I did this one and this one and this one and all the others, and this is the last. And it's different because it's actually Turkey. It's Turkey fighting elements in Turkey. So what we've got is we got some Turkish special forces. They're actually Turkey. They shouldn't be that. It should actually be something else. There should be Gendarmerie Special Operations units. It doesn't matter. And then there's these KDP people, or PKK, whatever you call them. Now the thing is, they arrive randomly. We don't know where, but this divided into two sets. Well, the first set is pretty much distributed about amongst settlements within this area, Balagon, whatever it's called, Eastern Bingol Province. So they're sort of in there somewhere. So half of them are sort of in the towns, and the others are either in these depots or in strategic points along these roads and things, where most of them are pretty much where you would imagine. There's a couple that are still maybe where you would imagine, but actually sort of, not quite. For example, there's a lot of hills here. It's quite remote, so there's probably something in there, but I'm guessing at that because I don't think I did actually put any there, but there might be some on the roads. So some of them are going to be pretty tough to find, but you're not going to have to find them all. It's a bit like that Nigerian one. I did enjoy that. I haven't put any airlift, so you can't airlift them out because I'm not going to worry about that. So, and the one thing I'm unsure about, if I land this on Bingol, what happens? Okay. Because I'm pretty sure there's something in Bingol. Or there might not be, because it's random, isn't it? Okay, so that's that. I think I'm going to try and land on this base. I'm going to land here. I've only got 3 more units, so I want to put one there, and one there, I think. So we split everything up to cover the entire province, as opposed to centralizing in case we get attacked heavily, which could be one way to do it. The thing that I'm sort of concerned about, it's not so much concerned, but this is interesting actually. Because I might have landed on it, but because of the way the air insertion works, it didn't activate the unit under it. So if I moved out and then back in, it would tell me whether there was a unit in there. But what I could have done, instead of landing as I did, I should have landed on all of these bases, because I can actually destroy them. whereas landing here serves no purpose at all. I was just hoping to find out whether there was any bad guys there. So we can't see any sort of PKK units. There's nothing to fire our helicopters at, so we'll end the turn. PKK don't have anything to move because there's nothing on the board, so we can end that turn. We've destroyed these units. As I said, it would have been far better to actually just land on them. But let's put this to the test. You see that? That's what I'm talking about. I'm going to have to think about how I'd sort that out. And look, there's two of them in there. There's one in there. Okay. Right, so we've got some resistance over here and over here. Now we should be able to fight them. Let's just see what the odds are. DE. Okay, so this should be similarly successful. But let's put the helicopters on them anyway, because there are two of them. Okay. And let's attack them. Okay. So basically all we can do really is remember where we've been. We've been in there, nothing there. We've been there, nothing there. Oh, there's something there. Now, it's one of those situations where it's clear that it's really easy to kill these PKK units with these special forces, so I could reduce the special forces down a bit. But I just think that it's quite, you know, possibly realistic, because these are PKK units in Turkey, so Turkey still has its own sort of police force in that area anyway. I mean, sending the army in, you know, they're probably not a lot more than well-organized gangs. I'm not saying they are, because obviously they're sort of part of the PKK side of things. But what I'm saying is that they should probably melt away like butter against any military force. So it's not unrealistic or stupid, but it doesn't make for a great game. But that's not what this is all about. So I think it's quite reasonable that we've got it at that, you know, in that way. Ooh. Because that's what we're trying to do, destroy these units. Okay. So the PKK can now fight. 4 depressions, 6, 5.1, 1.7. Well, this has got to be a battle because we really want to actually fight, and this is the best one we got. An exchange. Okay, that's that. Okay. See, the thing is, we could hit that unit with our helicopters and hopefully rout it, because he's fairly knackered. Routed him. That was what I wanted, because that means that now I can focus on this unit and these things down here, because there's nothing up here to get. Yep. Might be able to take both of these units out. DR. Huh. Huh. Okay, so PKK got units, but they're wounded. But we've got the possibility of ganging up on this, but he is basically dead. And so we're probably more likely to be able to attack him than him, but we'll lose at 1. We'll never get this one there. exchange. We've had 2 1-2s and both have been exchanges, so that's quite good. Well, we really want to take him out without actually having to move all the way over there. So let's put a helicopter on him. This should get a DR, a route. Yep. Okay. He's at depression 10, so the other helicopter can go against him. So this saves, although they're so dead, it means we don't have to move all the way over to get them. Oh no, he's still alive. Okay, let's attack this. Then move, and then see whether we can attack. Routed. Head into there. So that's pretty much everything done. I think we've been there. Ooh. Okay. What's that? Oh look, everything's destroyed. The PKK are going to hold up in this village because that's the only thing they can really do. And here they're going to get across the river like that. Probably didn't need a 450. I don't know what I'm doing. 50, 50 man power against point 0.8. That's like 50 to 1. Well over the top. Oh, I'm glad I had a good laugh about that. You often wonder where the humour comes from. Oh look, we routed him. Let's play table tennis with this guy over the river. Let's see if we can get him over the river. That was a DE. And yes, he's got the river, so let's knock him back with this one. Oh no, he fell in the river and drowned. And that's it. We've cleaned out. Well, we think we've cleaned it out, but have we? Now, I don't know how many we got and how many are left. So the next thing to do would be to patrol. Now, again, this is one of those things you think, that's a load of rubbish. Well, it's not, because basically it's a simulation. You know, and so the situation is, how good a simulation was it? You know, I think it's fair to imagine that the PKK in Turkey put up no fight at all, because they're not. It's not a war zone. It's mostly civilized. You know, they drive cars. They have houses with drives, and you know, sandwich shops and takeaways and supermarkets and everything there. It's not as, you know, it's not as bad as Yemen or Syria or Iraq, you know, generally. You know, they're not heavily armed. They've probably got a lot of arms, and they're sort of dangerous, you know. But it's the sort of thing that if they can spot a PKK cell, they'll probably just move in with some armored police. There's quite often those sorts of things that happen, and you know, people's cars will get blown up and things like that, and that's about it. So, you know, when special forces go in, you know, they're not going to come up against any serious resistance. It's not as though these people have been building berms. I saw quite a good picture on the websites just over the last couple of days about the I think it's the GNA building berms, you know, around Sirte. It's fascinating to watch, but it's a war zone, and that's what they do. They build these massive earthworks all the way around, and what amazes me is they'll probably be there for years and years to come. It's a bit like the Sand War, or the one, you know, that far West Africa, Morocco, I think, the war in Morocco, and they built a massive defensive barrier, earth berm, and it's still there, and they use it for buggy driving. They drive buggies all over it, and you know, but these are features that are going to be there for years. Now, they're not like Stonehenge, but no one's going to go around and say, right, we need to flatten this out. That's not going to happen. But it will eventually probably flatten itself out like a sand dune. A lot of these things, but in many cases, they've probably got at least 10 years. You know, in 10 years' time, you'll probably find that a lot of them have either flattened themselves out through wind erosion and other things, or been deliberately removed for building work, or for general land use. But you know, they're scars that are going to last forever. But this is not the case here, obviously, because these are just small units. So I think this is not a bad simulation, which is what the premise of that sort of question which brought on that sort of tangent of conversation, really. Yeah, I mean, I could make it harder. I could put more units in so that you could maybe possibly land in with 4 PKK units, and they could start getting 1-to-1s against you. I could use weaker special force units, but I'm not going to bother really. I'm quite happy with that. So I'm going to upload that, and I'll speak to you later. Cheerio.